Guys, welcome to episode number 9 of the Derby Crowd Live, and to start off this episode, we're currently 5th in the table on 23 points after 12 games, so I think we're doing about right. Obviously 3 losses, 7 wins and 2 draws, and yeah, I think we've got the right difficulty now, which is really, really good, just to make it as realistic as possible. But as you can see, there is a bit of a gap forming between us and top of the table Nottingham Forest, who are currently 9 points ahead of us, so I think at this point we do need to start the chase and really getting up the table and making sure we get in the playoffs, because let's say we lose a game or two, we could very easily fall out of the playoffs and struggle to get back in. So in between the 2 episodes, obviously I asked you guys, because we did get this transfer offer here for Lacina Traore from Ajax for Andre Wisdom, and obviously Wisdom wants to leave the club, and Lacina Traore is worth about 2.6 million. They've put in 350,000, so that goes up to about 3. So if I can get a bit more money from him, I think this deal's worth doing, because obviously even if Traore doesn't work for us, we can always sell him on, because he's very young and probably grown by a couple of ratings. So into the negotiations then. As I said, if we can get as much money as possible, and maybe even exchange another player, that could be another option. Obviously we're not going to get any of those. I don't think there's anyone off the top of my head that I really want from Ajax. Obviously I want Tagliafico, but I don't think I'll be able to afford him. Goalkeeper were fine. You see, that would be incredible, but I just don't think it's realistic. So yeah, I think Lacina Traore is about the right level of player. So if we go in with obviously Wisdom's worth about $1 million more in value. So I think if we go for 1.1, let's see if the kind of meet is in the middle somewhere around 600,000. That'll be kind of good. Yeah, we go, literally bang on the money. And obviously because we're negotiating, we might as well try and get as much possible. And I think that would be about a fair deal if they go for the 850k plus Wisdom. Obviously Wisdom's going to expire anyway, and we've got a number of centre backs. The best you can offer is an additional 50,000. So let's just see if we can get 725, just to get as much money as possible, just to make the deal as fair as possible. And unfortunately, I'm literally asking for a teeny amount more, and unfortunately, it's not gone through. As I said, I was because obviously Wisdom's worth $1 million more. I kind of want $1 million more in cash, and I kind of understood that obviously Traore is a lot younger and Wisdom is expiring, but I wasn't that fussed with that deal, just because it's not 100% what we need. Obviously it gets rid of a centre-back, and it's a nice player to have, but it's not 100% necessary. So we've got a number of messages here, so that's quite interesting that we've got 9. Obviously Jordan Ibe does want to play the next game, so we'll think about it. We'll have a look at fitness and everything, and of course we do get all the scout reports back, so that'll be what all those messages are. So let's have a quick look. As you can see, Heaton is expiring on 9 months, and he is 78 rated at the minute, so it would be a really good and realistic signing. So I like the look of him if he's potentially one option. Obviously Antonio also is expiring, but I think he's one that's slightly out of reach in terms of realism, because obviously scored like quite a few goals for West Ham this season in real life, and I don't know, he's obviously 30 years old, so he's not going to grow in stats. I might be tempted, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not too convinced. And then we got Christian Walton here from Brighton, 72 rated, which is higher rated than Marshall, of course, and he's a lot younger. So I wouldn't mind him. I'd even be tempted to even do a Heaton and Walton, just because obviously then we've got a first team and a backup. Tomori's obviously 76 rated again, expiring in contract soon. I just think it's a little bit too unrealistic, this one. And on 50 grand a week wages, it's quite high. I think 40 is about the very most that I'd want to go for. Obviously, he's a terrific player, but might be a little bit too early to get him at the minute. Then we got Ferdi Kadıoğlu from Fenerbahçe. I think he's about the right level for us to sign. Obviously, he was linked to us in real life, and yeah, I'll have a look in the January transfer window if we can maybe look at like Dwayne Holmes or something, maybe maybe even Waghorn in a swap deal for him. That'll be something to look for. And then we got Ivan Martinez here, who is 60 rated, but 18 years old, and is expiring. So if we can get him for a cheap amount, obviously on those like £450 wages a week, it's not exactly going to burn much of a hole. So that's all those, I think. Maybe we've got a slightly different report here. I did look at this left back here from Feyenoord, who looks ridiculous. 75 rated, 21 years old, really good physical stats, and technical, to be fair. And then just Radu, who is 75 rated, but I don't think... It's incredible that he's been there for 7 years, and he's 23. But I think he'd cost us a little bit more because he's not expiring in his contract. So might not be achievable to get him. So as you can see here on the top goal scorers, obviously Marriott, I think, scored a hat-trick in the last game. So he's moved on to 7 goals in 6 games, which is actually ridiculous when you look at it that way. And maybe he should be playing a bit more in the team. But as I said, the way the game is at the minute, it's very easy just to get in behind and to score goals. So players like Marriott are quite easy to do it. One thing I want to do in this episode, I did say in the last one, is to keep a clean sheet, because we haven't actually done that yet in 12 games, even including the cup. So you could probably put another 3 on there and make it 15. But yeah, let's go into the Huddersfield game, who are currently 14th in the table, I think. Going to have to make a few changes due to fitness. I wants to play the game anyway, and I think we'll probably put... Obviously now Wisdom... Where's Wisdom? Oh, he's there. I thought he just disappeared. Here we are then at the, I think it's the John Smith Stadium. Kirkley Stadium. I don't know why I thought it was the John Smith Stadium, but let's have a look at their lineup then. They've got a 4-2-3-1. Prior in goal from Man United, I think that is on loan. Tommy Elphick and Sarr from Charlton, of course. Toffolo and Pippa at fullback. Bakuna and Duhani, maybe? I think that's how you say his name. Colin Grant on the left wing, which is interesting, because obviously he's a very good striker. So it's a bit odd that he's playing out of position. Pritchard and Eating to finish the midfield, and Ubercan up front. We've had to bring in Jordan Ibe on the right and Wisdom into the defence. Obviously that deal didn't go through, so I kind of want to try to win Wisdom back, and it would be good to know if you can actually win players back once you kind of fall out with them. Chance here for Lawrence. There's a lot of space to run into. Hopefully we can get the first goal of the game with the shot now and into the back of the net. We did make it 1-0 in the 25th minute, and as always, it is a ball that just, you know, it's kind of cashing them on the counter-attack and running through. The majority of the goals against the ultimate difficulty happens, but that's what I've got to deal with. Maybe just playing a slow striker will counter that, but goals like that are always going to happen in football. Sibley with the ball, big space for Lawrence in the middle, chips the keeper, but straight into his hands. Really with the ball here, now into Lawrence. Can he get the second of the game? Saved by the keeper. All right, here to Burn. Hopefully we can get the second of the game, because you definitely don't want to be going to the last 10 minutes. Oh, that's a little bit lucky. I tried to pull it back, but it's come off the defender, number 26, and technically Burn gets the goal, but I think it's going to go down as an own goal quite easily. Yeah, I was trying to pull it back to either Ibe or Marriott, but yeah, the defender's just done him. It's gone as how's that gone as Burns' goal? I'd understand if the shot was on target, but it's not. He's pulling it back to here, and then it's Sarr from Charlton, former Charlton player. So that's a little bit odd that that's gone down as a Burn goal, but I'll take it. It's 2-0 now and should be the 3 points. Chance here for Marriott. Goes around the defender. It's just super easy just to sprint through on goal and get 3 goals. And yeah, I don't know, it's one of those where I can't really do much about it, so we're just going to have to take these goals because that's the game that we do play. Third into Marriott, now lays it off for Jordan Ibe. Can he make it 4-0? Yes, he can, and that is the game. Very easily wrapped up now. It was pretty much wrapped up at 3-0, but I don't know how I did that. Don't know how I did that celebration, but I think I'm guessing it's a frog. Yeah, nice bit of play from Bird. Marriott turns the defender, and then Ibe's just in all the space in the world to make it 4-0. Bird with the ball here. As you can see, it's just acres for Sibley to run into. Can we make it 5-0 in the final 2 minutes of the match? Yes, we can. It's good to get Sibley a goal. Of course, he's Struggled slightly, but still we're doing very well, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's just a bit weird to see fans and players interact together. Yeah, like when you get into the last 10 minutes, it's pretty easy to get him behind, and I believe that's about his third, hopefully, yeah, third goal this season. And then we go full time against Huddersfield, a nice 5-0 victory, which is our first clean sheet of the entire career mode. It's taken us about 15 or 16 games. I'll have a look at exactly how many games. But they didn't have a single shot on target. They had a lot of possession, but I think we just defended very well indeed. And I think Louis Sibley getting man of the match there, which is good to see. No assist for him, but he did score the goal at the end. But very good dribble and pass completion. Next game is against Nottingham Forest then, who are currently top of the table. We're currently 6 points off them, so if we can win this game, it will be their first loss of the season, and we can close the gap to 3 points and potentially go into the... well, we have played an extra game actually, so we'll go... I'm not too sure how it's going to work really, but yeah, we're currently ahead by 1 game, even though we did quite well in the Carabao Cup, which is quite odd. But yeah, hopefully we can get the win against Forest, of course, get them their first loss of the season. We did have to make a few changes in that last game just because of fitness, and we're going to have to do it again here. So unfortunately Shinny's going to come in. Well, Shinny's a good player, but it's unfortunate Bird having to come out, of course. Here we are then for the East Midlands derby against Nottingham Forest. Should be a good game because obviously they are top of the table. We've had to make a few changes, and obviously the stipulation of playing 4 academy players was a bit of an issue really in this one because of fitness. We've got no Whitaker or Bird, so Brown's had to come into the defence. Then we've got Knight, Delap and Sibley, of course. It's nice to have that issue though, because it makes things more interesting, because I could have very easily just put Burn in. Obviously Lawrence has had to come to this right mid position. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes, of course. But I do like the fitness and like getting all the youth players in and everything, so let's have a look at their team. Hopefully it's not too strong. They've got you see, this is the problem with me starting the career mode when I did. Like Thiago Silva's gone to Olympiacos, I think, and obviously the Forest manager's been sacked as well, Samri Lamucci, and now they've got Chris Houghton in, who's actually a quality manager, so I'm a bit concerned. But yeah, they've got Samba in goal, Daraqua and Ribeiro at the fullback positions, Worrell, Figueredo. Then they got Bachiru, I'm not too sure who he is. So Sami Amiobi, who'll be doing a billion dragbacks, Joe Lolly and Lewis Graben up top. Hopefully we can do well in this game. Lolly with the ball out wide here, gets it through to Thiago Silva. Gonna have to put the tackle in. It's a great tackle from Josviak to get... Oh, it's pulled it back. I was about to say if that was a penalty, go ballistic. There is an injury to Graham Shinney early on, which is a bit of a concern. We may need to make a change if he's injured too much. Chance here for Amiobi in the box though. As I said, a billion stepovers and dragbacks. Sibley into Delap. Slips it through for Rooney. Can we make it 1-0? Yes, we can. And that is a great start to this game. A game that we do need to ideally win. Just to kill Forest's unbeaten run, and of course to get ourselves within 3 points. Lawrence just coming inside. Nice turn from Delap, and Rooney with that world-class finishing. For some reason it's not letting me select Shinny because he's injured, and now he's been able to go through the defence. He's gone into the back of the net. That was really weird because I couldn't pick who I wanted to get the ball, and I might need to take him off if that's the case. Like, it just wouldn't let me select Shinny. It was just making it super difficult, and Graben has equalised quite quickly. I don't know, I kind of want to wait till at least to half time, but I guess if he can't do anything, I'm going to have to sub him off. So he can still run with it. All chance here for Lolly, and it is hit the post, luckily. Oh. And then I've just given it to him. Just gone, there you go, have the goal. I'm going to have to take Shinny off because he's just not tracking back and not really helping, so a bit of a shame he is injured, of course. We'll bring on... it's a bit of a conundrum because of the fitness, but I think we'll go Evans. Lap on the ball here. Back to Knight, because there's not really any options. And look at the way Forest defend it. really, really difficult, and that's what I want. I want it to be when we're playing against the teams at the top. It's difficult. And see if I grab it, and he's run through on goal. See, I could have probably done with Wisdom at the back for this kind of game. It's gone back to Thiago Silva, now into Sammy Amiobi. Lolly dragged back. Oh, good tackle, but I think it's going to be a goal anyway. It is 3-1. Not the best of starts to this game, and going to have to do a lot to get back into it. It's because basically we had the Huddersfield game midweek. We've had a number of fitness issues, and now this team isn't quite up for it. Half time then against Nottingham Forest. I'm going to make a slight change just to. It is doable. Obviously, Lawrence going further up the pitch, and Knight going into that right mid slot, and Sibley in the centre mid position. We don't have the most amount of options on the bench as well. Probably will bring on Byrne and probably Holmes. Chance here in the box with Graben. It is 4-1. That's going to be pretty much game over. We have just made a few changes, bringing on Holmes and Byrne, but I think it's too little too late in this one. Like, the difference in... Like, we won the last game 5-0 and probably could have maybe played a second team against Huddersfield and then played our first team for this game. But I think we're just missing a few players in this lineup. Chance here for Delap. Can we get the comeback of dreams? There's one. I'm going to have to be quick. We've got 20 minutes to get 2 goals. Might be doable. Well, like, it's Joswiak. It's probably too little too late if we do score a goal. But we might be able to pull it back to Tom Lawrence here. Now with the shot, but blocked by a number of Forest defenders, and that is full time. It's probably the first time that I felt like we're playing ultimate difficulty. Graben with the hat-trick, of course. But I think playing the stronger team against Huddersfield probably cost us this at least a point. I think if we had the likes of Bird and maybe a couple of others, we probably could have done a bit better. I think one thing as well, the injury to Shinnie, which we'll see what the results are. It's only 5 days, but yeah, the injury probably caused at least 2 goals. If you watch it back, like, Shinnie just wasn't... one of them I wasn't being able to select Shinnie, and then the other I wasn't able to... we wasn't able to, like, track back, so it just cost us a couple of goals in that game, and yeah, that probably was the difference in the end. We're still in the playoffs, but only just. And obviously that gap between us and Forest is probably quite large now. Yeah, still 9 points. So really annoying that we couldn't end their unbeaten streak. And we do have Brentford next, who are just as good as Nottingham Forest. We do have a offer here for Joe Bateman, who I'm not too fussed about because he is 21 at 55 rated. Well, it is a loan to buy, so let's have a look and see how much we can get for him. So they want a 2-year loan. Ideally, I'd want a 1, if anything. I guess we can always recall him if need be, and they're going for the 60% pay. Let's see if we can get a little bit more just to get it up to 65%. And there we go. So transfer fee, if I can get 300,000 for him, since his value is already 250, I think that's about right. And you know, it's just a nice amount of money. They're being pretty stingent, but if we can extra 20k hopefully, and there we go. So it does mean he will be joining them in January on a 2-year loan with an option to buy, which I'm not too fussed about. Obviously he is a youth player at the club, but I don't think centre back's a position that we particularly need. So our next opponent are Brentford, who are currently just below us, and if they do win, of course, they will go above us, and we might actually drop out of the playoffs. So we do need to be careful in this next game to get the win. Hopefully it's a fully fit team, and it is indeed, so that's good to see. Everyone's fully fit for this one. I might be tempted to put Wisdom into the defence just because he was really good against Huddersfield. So I've just seen morale on Wisdom is really, really good, so I don't know if I can actually offer him a new contract. I'll have a quick look and see. No, it's still not available. Unfortunately, his fitness is a little bit low, but it's not too much of a concern on the centre back because I can always sub one off the bench if need be. So if we put him in the starting 11, hopefully that means I don't know, he's not included in like training. Here we then for the game against Brentford. Obviously a very, very good team. It'd be interesting to see if Benarama's in the lineup. And he isn't, so potentially he's moved on to another club. They've got David Raya in goal, and then Dalsgaard Alguer at left back, Charlie Good from Northampton, and then Pontus Jansson. Velicidas in the CDM role, who has actually scored 3 goals in the last 3 games. Josh Da Silva, Jensen, and Bueno, and Godos on the wing, and then Ivan Toney up front. It's a fully fit team for us, so we should be much better in this game, and hopefully we can get the 3 points, because it's, you know, in these championship seasons, if you lose a couple of games in a row, you can just drop down the table super quickly. Like it to Whittaker, we've almost scored. If we score 4 goals in this game, we can get 50 goals in 15 games. Top Lawrence with the ball into Joswiak with the shot and into the back of the net to make it 1-0 in the first 12 minutes. Very good from the Polish international, and it's a bit of a shame that he is kind of playing slightly out of position, like as a kind of a wing back, obviously right mid, left mid role in a 3 at the back formation. So maybe moving him to a centre forward might be one option we could look at, but for the time being, we're getting pretty decent results, and it is only his 2nd goal this season. Chance here for Tony. He's gone around Bielik with the shot and into the back of the net. It's just like one little mistake and you've let him in, and it is a equaliser quite quickly for, just like in the Forest game, in fairness, we went 1-0 up and then they quickly replied, and it does show how difficult these teams are at the top. Loads of space out here to Whittaker. Hopefully can find the back of the net, and he does indeed. Morgan Whittaker, really good player actually. And again, I might be tempted to move him slightly forwards, but as I said, we've got so many players to accommodate for. It is very difficult to get players in exactly the role that they should be playing, but Whittaker there to get us back into the lead. Really, like, I don't know where the fullback is, just absolutely acres. But obviously with this formation we are playing, we do find the space. All Sibley's down in the box. Hopefully he doesn't keep everyone on side. Just get the ball and get it out, because I just don't want Sibley, who is unfortunately injured. It looks like a knee injury. That's not great at all. I think these new animations, I'm sure they don't usually spend this long looking at the injury, but we're going to have to make a change in the first half. Now we could bring on Nathan Burns since we're winning the match and move Whittaker slightly forwards, and I think that's probably the wisest move since Brentford are a very good attacking team. I was tempted to bring on Marriott, but I think goal-wise we're doing well. It's just defensively, obviously Burn will help out. See, the annoying thing is they're just going to go on the attack anyway, even though I've just put the ball out and they scored the goal from the situation of us putting the ball out of play. You know, I know it's very difficult to do that, to program, you know, just them giving us the ball back because we put it out. And maybe I should have just played on and maybe booted the ball up the pitch instead of straight out. But it is 2-2, probably to end the first half. And there's half time against Brentford. It's kind of like that Villa lead situation, kind of, in a way, you know, like the ball not getting put out of play and then they end up scoring, but we obviously did put it out, and yeah, slightly unsporting, but they have made a half-time sub taking off Ivan Toney, which I'm kind of glad to see the back of. Just waiting for the run of Joswiak. Hopefully he can get the ball. It's a poor touch, right? Why is he taking that? Throwing quickly to Marriott then. You see, I can just get him behind with Marriott, which is nice. Hopefully he can narrow the scoreline. Chips the keeper and into the back of the net to make it 4-3 in the final minute. But yeah, I'd say like this game has been really quite competitive and fun, which is what I want. Like, especially when we do go to the Premier League. I want us to be in a relegation battle. I don't want us to like easily get into like the top half of the table in the first season. And I think with the current settings, I think we're about at the right stage. But yeah, that's a 4-3 loss away from home against Brentford, which is a realistic result. That's what I want. And obviously the injury to Sibley, like that's the thing about this game. If we didn't put the ball out where we did, from that throw-in, of course, it's pretty much where the throw-in started. and then they go all the way through and score the goal, we would have got a point, but because of the lack of sportsmanship, we don't. So the injury to Lewis Sibley is quite a big one. It is going to be 2 months out injured with a dislocated shoulder. So we're going to have to take him out of the first team 11, which in one way isn't that bad, but at the same time it does mean we need to accommodate another youth player into the starting 11. So let me know in the comments if any particular player you want to see a bit more of. But actually, I might need to take Rooney out of striker and then maybe go Delap up front and do something like that. And maybe just get Jack Marriott on the bench, actually, because obviously when he does play, he scores a goal. So I think I kind of need to have him in at least the bench and maybe even starting. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting episode. Obviously, we did lose the Forest game and the Brentford game, but we did win quite well against Huddersfield. As you can see, Max Bird has gone to a 70 rated player, so that just makes him a little bit better. I don't think there's anyone else growing in stats though. We'll have a quick skim. No, I think everyone else is the same. So yeah, it's nice to see when players are growing, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we do with Sibley out injured now. He hasn't been phenomenal, so I'm not that fussed, but obviously it's obviously not nice when your players do get injured because you don't have that many options anymore. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Delap does up front, and maybe we'll do a little bit better since he is a out-and-out striker with a bit of pace, of course. So yeah, there is a bit of a gap now between now and the next game, which is Watford, so we will be playing that game in the next episode. So I think in terms of the difficulty, we're at the right level. 2 losses back to back, and obviously Watford might be 3 losses in a row. As I said, I think maybe a couple of episodes ago, if I can get 1 point out of these 3 games, then I'll be happy. And then we got Swansea, another tough team, Stoke, another tough team, Bournemouth, another one, Cardiff, Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, and like middle of December is our next easy game. But even in the Championship, they're not easy, of course. But yeah, there's not too long now until obviously the January transfer window. So if you do want to start suggesting some players that we should sign, I think a young goalkeeper is the main one. Obviously, we do have the ones on our shortlist at the minute. So if we just quickly look at those, we've got Butland, Radu, Martinez, Walton, and Heaton. And I could always bring one in for this season, but at the same time, it would cost us a bit of money to do that, whereas on a free, it's probably a lot cheaper. So yeah, hopefully, guys, did enjoy this episode. Make sure you do leave a like rating if you did enjoy, and see you soon. Bye.